we got news of MP25 about a day or two ago, and it's tracks. And I just wanted to get your guys' opinion on what you think.
Target Master Raul, yay!
It looks awesome. I think it was.
Yeah,
good.
I think he looks really, really nice. I do want to get a good view of the flying car mode, though.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the prototype you can actually see the tip of the wing. I don't know if that's the tip of the wing right there or that's the exhaust underneath the side of the
exhaust
car.
the other guy.
But yeah, it looks. We got this gray prototype photo, and it looks pretty good. So.
I'm hoping it's blue because I have alternator tracks in yellow, well, Biotech tracks in yellow, and it's an interesting oddity to have tracks in yellow, but I really want this one to be blue. If they do a yellow, I hope it'll be other things.
I'm sure this one will be blue because the masterpiece is the throwback line.
Yeah.
Right.
We know we're getting a road rage, so that'll cover our red one.
And we might get a yellow one.
E-Hobby? Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
E-Hobby doing a yellow one. So,
I think we'll get yellow just because of the whole Biotech thing, and it's another repaint. And we'll probably get. I'm going to say we'll get a black one as well.
Now,
Yeah.
What would the black one be for?
I have no. I'm just saying because
Yeah.
who
Actually,
saw the
black
new
was a-
masterpiece Soundwave coming out?
There was a black Lucky Draw tracks.
Oh, and they got
Okay.
a gold one too.
Yeah.
Takara will paint anything black and resell it.
But yeah, there was a Lucky Draw black G1 tracks.
And then is there a shattered glass tracks?
That's
That was
basically
Road Rage,
That
yeah.
was Road Wage.
Okay.
Road Wage.
Well, wait.
Which one was the female? Is that
Road
right?
Rage.
Yeah. I thought that was a little interesting that people were surprised at how slender the robot mode looks, and I thought, well, duh, it's the obvious repaint. There's a female, so they're going to have to make it.
Well, not only that, but the Corvette is a very slim vehicle anyway, so it can't be a really bulky
Yeah,
robot.
there's not a lot of mass there to work with. It's not like, say, a Mustang for a Walker Wheel Charger.
What's kind of interesting to me is it definitely looks like the same design as whoever did Bumblebee because they have this switchable Autobot emblem on the roof for the chest. So I don't know. I have it on screen right now so everyone can take a look at it. He looks a little lanky.
He does,
Well, again,
but
that
I
could
think
be-
it works for tracks.
Yeah. Now, I do hope that we get a choice of faceplates, though, because I know the toy faceplate is one thing, but I prefer the actual nose and mouth look from the cartoon, just so he can have a little more of an expression.
Well, I'm sure they'll have they've been doing that on all of them where they have
Yeah.
at least
And
the newer ones. They give them a couple of faces and stuff. So
and if the initial news of this holds true, he should have a human figure with him, which I'm sure will be Raul.
Yeah, I mean, that's
And,
what
and,
it says.
and an in-scale to Raul transformed blaster.
and I still want a chip chase in a wheelchair.
That has to happen at some point.
Yeah.
If they keep doing human figures,
Well-
they're going to come down to him.
Well, if and when they do a Hound, I think they'll do it with Hound because the
You put the wheelchair in the back. It's easier to throw in a.
well, no, it's not that. It's just
No,
it's
that would
just-
be Ironhide. He can just roll in the back.
Yeah. Well, see, probably the one you should have come with because there was that one episode, the interaction he had, when a 2400 ball modem could control the transformer. Yeah, probably Ironhide because the immobilized. I don't know. We'll get it.
He could come with thrust whenever we get a thrust because of Megatron's master plan.
Yeah.
One of your favorite episodes, Dawn.
Yeah, but it's not one of them. I liked it better than the season finale for season 2, which was Bot.
Is there,
That's awesome.
is there any other figures that use that same engineering? Or
Wheeljack was close, I think, but I mean, we've already got Wheeljack. That's probably why we're doing
Yeah.
tracks.
I think Bumblebee's kind of close too. I see Bumblebee in it, and I can see what you said as there's some Wheeljack in there too.
I'm just
Well, I mean,
wondering
if they can turn classic tracks and Wheeljack into each other, I'm sure there was some lessons learned there for the
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Mhm.
the later versions. But I definitely am. Although this does sort of throw a spanner in the works for MP25 being Megatron.
Well, this just makes.
What do you mean MP25 is not going to be Megatron?
Even though we have confirmation that it's going to be tracks and a
He could
prototype?
be, he could be MP25-A.
No, I'm just saying we were all guessing Megatron would be the next one announced because of the similarities to what's happened before.
I think that was more hope than anything.
I was one of the
That was
people-
definitely hope.
Yeah, I was one of the people saying just because they reissued MP5 does not mean MP25 is going to be Megatron.
Oh no, I'm just saying there was some parallels there. You know?
Yeah.
We do desperately need a new Masterpiece Megatron.
I think they did that because they were going to retire that mold and like, let's get as much out of this one as we can, so let's do a couple of repaints, and that's what I'm thinking they did.
I mean, they do have, X-Transbots has their Apollyon coming out, which
I don't know.
the plastic quality from X-Transbot hasn't been the greatest. Online, they're saying it's going to be better on this figure, but the figure does look pretty nice. So
No,
it
it
might
does.
be a
I
good
I hope it's going to be better than that wheelie they did. That thing was scary.
Yeah.
Well, I will be honest. I did watch the Hegemon review, and if the transformation wasn't quite so intimidating to a degree, I might be tempted by Hegemon. But the Apollyon looks a lot better than Hegemon, and Hegemon's not a bad looking figure.
No, I have Hegemon, and I'm perfectly happy with him, but he's not masterpiece size.
Yeah,
so
he's not big enough.
Yeah.
Classic, right?
His transformation is not all that intimidating either, Don, once you figure out how to do it. I mean,
it's just fiddly, kind of.
yeah.
Well, see, that's why I've never transformed Cyclops back. I'm just literally terrified of some of the panels.
No, I don't blame you there, Don. That was at least partially why I wanted to end up selling mine.
But
I think if they don't win with Apollyon, they're going to be pretty
Done.
done.
Well, they're already. I think a lot of people are sitting and waiting for people to get prototypes in hand, at least just like an early review sample, and before they go all in to pre-order it.
And I've said this before, and I've mentioned it on the the forum I frequent, that it tells you something if there's going to be no prototypes or no test shots distributed to anyone, and it's just going to get pushed to store. I mean, that kind of shows you that they really didn't want it reviewed. But if it's a decent figure and they feel confident in what they did, then we'll probably get some test shots that get reviewed.
Right.
Hopefully it'll be me.
Yeah, you don't want. That's definitely a bad sign when it's like video games and they don't get early copies out to people. It looks like one of those. Yeah, it's one of those. Yeah, exactly. One of those review embargoes that they put in place, and that automatically sends up red flags.
it's like, it's just.
Well, my thing with the reviews for the prototypes is they should look at that as a way to get feedback before they totally go crazy with that, to fix stuff.
But a lot of times you see those prototypes, and like we've already seen parts posted on forums of like the tip of the gun barrel in a big container all painted. So I mean, they're already in production of some of the parts.
Sure. Yeah.
So what's a test shot really going to do right now if they say, oh, the tip of the gun barrel is a little bit loose? They already have a whole barrel of them. They're probably not going to throw them out and redo it.
Well, let's just hope. Well, how about Quake Wave? I mean, didn't Fansway just to get rid of a whole batch of Quake Waves?
That was one of the translucent ones. I think that they I guess it didn't turn out as well as they expected. So they
produce it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if Transbots would do the same thing. I mean, Fansways to me seems like they've pretty much got their act together. But how many figures has Transbot released now? I mean, they got
Do you count repaints? Because we don't have enough fingers if you count repaints.
Yeah, right.
But it's we've already technically we've lost Impossible Toys. They tried, it just did not work out for them. I think everybody's like they're waiting for them to see who's next.
Well, I know, obviously one of the leaders right now, or one of the leaders has always been Fans Toys. Or Fans Project, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Fans Project, Mach-8 Toys, Make Toys, whatever you want to call them,
Yeah.
Mastermind Creations. They're the safe bets right now.
Right.
And
Well,
now Fans Toys has been, pretty
Yeah,
positive.
they're stepping up. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, if TFC's stuff had come out immediately after Hercules, I probably would have been a lot more on board with some of their stuff. But with the QC issues of Uranus, that kind of hurt TFC in my eyes. I'm trying
What's wrong
not.
with Uranus?
DFC still has a fair number of fans though. There
Oh, I
some
know.
people that still get excited about their stuff.
Well,
I'm
I've got
not them anymore.
Yeah.
But they do still have their
Hercules
fans.
right there. That is one of the
Hercules, I love Hercules. He is safe on my shelf.
Oh,
Even
exactly.
with Hasbro Devastator, he ain't going anywhere.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Him, Yellow Giant, and Titan Devastator are all going to share a shelf.
You know what, really? Hercules doesn't look like it aged very well to me. Like, I look at pictures now of Hercules, and he's just, like, misproportioned. And I think he was the greatest thing since sliced bread once he came out.
I
But,
can see that. I think he's aged quite well.
How old is that figure? Maybe 4 or 5 years old now?
5, maybe 6 years old.
Yeah,
But
to me, it hasn't aged well, and that was one of those figures I really wanted and couldn't afford it. And then, now I look back and I look at pictures of it, and I'm like, it's really not. It's not that great.
I'm not looking at pictures. I'm looking at the physical thing across the room, and he's still freaking fantastic. So
Yeah.
I don't know,
I'm
maybe
with
it's just
that.
me then, but like, that really didn't age that well. But for me,
hold on one damn minute.
unique toys and their Gordon
Now you
figure
got it.
is
I'm
gonna
not
be
sure about
amazing. Yeah, he's gonna show it to me and be like,
Yeah,
no, it looks okay.
You prompted Melvar to move. That's never a mistake.
Awesome. Gloriously awesome.
I mean, you could conquer a small country just swinging that thing around like a club.
You say he hasn't aged well. I say he's like
shaky.
a fine wine. He's
Yeah.
getting better with age.
Nah, he's shaky. Shake him again. I hear the clickety clackety shakety.
I don't
Yeah.
see
That's
anything
the
falling
mask.
off of him.
Okay,
That's the
I'll put it like this.
His lip hitting each other.
That,
That's plastic on plastic, not joints.
I don't
that-
know. I think someone could do a Devastator right now.
Well-
At least double.
well, here's the thing, Diecast. That Hercules does not need no add-on kit to look that awesome. It is like that out of the box.
He did have an add-on kit, but it wasn't like the
Yeah.
Superion
You
one,
didn't
where
need it.
it was necessary to make it look. All it was spacers to keep the arms out a little bit farther.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No
that add-on
preference.
kit was
It's
a
another head.
secondary thought, and then TFC said, "Oh, this add-on kit thing's a great idea. We'll build it into Superion next
Exactly,
time."
but for Devastator, it wasn't necessary. It was
Right.
it was an afterthought, for people that like a different aesthetic. So,
Right.
But with Superion, they went downhill, and
With Hercules, that was purely for people who wanted a more G1-esque looking Hercules. They wanted him to look more like the original Devastator. I own the Rage set, and I have mine installed, but I kind of don't. I think it looks better without it.
I have the Rage set, but I got it just for the head, so it would have some facial
Yeah.
expression. That's the only part of that set I used.
Yeah.
To me, Hercules is a classics Devastator.
Yeah.
That's what. If I had a shelf of themes, that would be on a classic shelf.
I don't know. I think Herc is more classics than or the Green Giant by Mach-8 Toys. That's more classics to me than. I don't know. Maybe it's just like I like my Mach-8 toys so
I've
much.
never actually seen in person Giant. I mean, from what I've seen, looked good, but I really don't have any context as to where he'd fit in a line.
Yeah.
But
I love
About that-
Hercules.
yeah.
Hercules is awesome. I just knocked him over and nothing fell off.
But yeah, tracks.
Oh yeah, we were talking about
We were talking about
That's what we were recording this for, right?
So now we're
great.
getting tracks, and so we know who the repaints will be. Who do we think's next then? Because tracks was sort of out of the blue. No possibly.
Well, now that they're doing, repaints as official numbers, we could get MP26, Road Rage.
Well, actually, we heard the rumor of tracks not that long ago. We also heard a rumor of, was it Ironhide?
Yeah.
So we could be looking at that next. I'm still very, very impatiently waiting for Masterpiece Jazz. That'd be nice.
And I'll be honest, I've got the two. I got the two eye gears. I've got now this is the second version. That's a little bit cheaper. Patrol Specialist, which was tote, and Medical Specialist, which was first aid. But they gave you the heads to be Ironhide Ratchet. These right here look really great beside my Autobot cars. I don't know whether I get Ironhide or not, if it's too close to this or not. It just depends on how it winds up being. Instead of sending about Magnus having stack, and I got Magnus right there behind me.
Oh, I'll get the Masterpiece, definitely. I mean, I don't
absolutely,
have
it's Ironhide.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have a choice.
Yeah. And then, of course, we'll get the Diaclone colors from him. I don't think he had
Ratchet.
the Ratchet.
And now, just to point out, Trax right now is estimated around the third quarter, which probably means August, I would say. August, September. So we're
About
probably
the same time we got Wheeljack last year.
Yeah, we're probably only looking about one more Masterpiece before the end of 2015.
Well, no, because we've still got Exhaust coming, theoretically, and Star Saber.
No, I mean the ones we know. I mean, Star Saber and Exhaust are coming out next month. So,
but
that's 23 and 24 right there. Trax is 25.
I don't think
we'll have something announced.
Yeah, but I don't think we'll see another Masterpiece after Trax this year, unless it's a recolor that they're trying to get out by Christmas, and I don't see that being. The car doesn't really have that much of a need to get product out by Christmas.
No, we will see a prototype definitely, but as far as being released before 2016, I doubt it.
Well, this year we got, or this year is 2015. Last year, 2014, we got Wheeljack about August,
Bumblebee,
and then
and
Bumblebee,
Ultra Magnus.
and then Ultra Magnus were only a month apart. So it is possible.
Well, I wonder if Bumblebee's lack of mass made his production quick enough to get those out together.
But then look at Ultra Magnus. They probably balanced out.
Yeah,
but yeah, okay, that's a good point. Okay, if they announce an Ironhide or whatever 26 is going to be soon, we could probably get them close to the end of the year, maybe right after Christmas, like we got Magnus.
Yeah.
I'm thinking we'll see Trax's recolor announced, and or the next one announced before Christmas at least. But I just don't see us getting another figure released, but at that point, especially if Exhaust gets delayed again.
It depends on where they are in the production schedule too. Like if it's close to being as far along as Trax is, like if they started development around the same time, then we could be seeing a prototype of that soon.
Exhaust is going to be an interesting, character coming out because we really don't know what we're going to get in hand.
Yeah. Did they change the deco again? Do we know?
Last I heard, it was just squares now, and that still wasn't good enough for.
Yeah, I think Philip Morris was still, being leery of that because they really don't want to get sued.
And I'm checking on.
Don't blame them.
I'm checking on Big Bad Toy Store's site right now, and I don't see Exhaust. Like it was never. I don't know if it was never put back up.
Well, BBTS said they were waiting. They were waiting to hear the final results.
Yeah, waiting for the dust to clear, so to speak.
I kind of wish I kept my pre-order, but I've got so many things on my plate right now that, like Solchagok and Galgagar, I just paid for it yesterday. So if I have to give up a repaint of Drax, repaint of Wheeljack for a couple of months, to get someone that can get my car. I don't mind doing that.
And I'll admit it, one of the reasons I want to exhaust so bad, there's been so much controversy surrounding this figure. It's like, I can't miss this one now. There's just, if there was no controversy, it just went through, I'd be like, it's a repaint. I'd probably get it anyway, but
I never cared about the product placement tie-in or anything like that. I like Masterpiece Wheeljack. I like the Diaclone head. I need a Decepticon, so.
That's true too. We have very little, Decepticons right now, so that's definitely a plus for that figure.
Oh well, there's something I just realized this. There's something Hasbro could do if they wanted to bring Exhaust over with a different deco altogether for the U.S. market. They could call him Makeshift from Transformers Prime.
That is not a bad idea.
That way, since we never saw the character's full mode, it could be any kind of deco, and they just give him basically the Prime. That could be his regular robot mode without being in disguise. They just give him like a Prime bio. See? More than just a pretty face.
Yeah, I'm checking a couple other stores right now, and it seems like Exhaust is missing from their pages too. Because I thought they announced that redeco, but then
what color was Makeshift?
Because
if it's something they have to run back into production and change materials, it's less likely to happen.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if any of us are going to get that original deco. You know what I mean?
I hope so. I kept my original pre-order, so.
Yeah, that would be great if we end up getting the, not authorized deco.
The not politically correct one.
Yeah.
Well, I would lord it over everyone.
At some point, you're going to get a KO version of that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which would be excellent. Actually, the only place that I found that it's still listed on the site.
Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it. Don't say it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Remember, we've had this conversation.
Yeah. It's just, here's my thing. Being a business major, I understand why Philip Morris was doing this, but it's also kind of skirting with the laws of reasonable thought that people are going to see this toy online and it's going to think of Marlboro cigarettes.
Well, it's not them making the toy either, so.
I understand the legality of what they're trying to avoid, and it's business in the world nowadays.
This isn't necessarily something that Philip Morris wants to do. It's something they have to do.
Yeah,
because they will get sued for having their branding on a children's toy.
But I think what Don's saying is it's out of their control. It's out of Philip Morris' control.
And a parent that sees that toy, and their child, if they're not buying it for their child, and their child is not buying it, so therefore they have no interaction with that toy other than visually seeing it on a web page, and then they see it and get offended and then sue. Why? There's no. It's not hurting you. It's not, and it's so far removed. And if you recognize the deco on that car, then you know that was the original deco. But you're not buying it, so it's not hurting you. So why are you causing a fuss?
Because people are unreasonable, Don.
It's just drama for the sake of drama, and finding a cause to fight against instead of like, okay, that's cool. I'm not gonna buy it for my kid because I'm not gonna spend that much money for it. But, the parent would say, "Oh, that's kind of cool." Flip the page. Sorry, I'll get on my soapbox there. While we're talking about masterpieces and stuff, what do you want the next masterpiece to be?
Ironhide.
Jazz.
Yep, Jazz.
Or Ironhide. Either one.
Jazz.
I want Trailbreaker.
I'd even take a Ratchet, because then I know I'm getting an Ironhide.
Yeah.
I want Trailbreaker. I really would like to have a Trailbreaker.
That would be nice. I'd take Inferno. because there's a whole slew of repaints you could get out of that. You could get at least 4 uses out of that thing.
Well, now, the good thing about Inferno is we know when we get Inferno,
We'll get grapple.
grapple.
Someone will come out with an arc fire, and E-Hobby will give us a road hauler.
Right.
So,
But the good thing is, if we do get Inferno, we know we're going to have all these repaints, which in my head, I thought about it before, of how they're using the repaints to build up money for a model,
for more original molds.
For more original molds. So if we look at getting Inferno, we could get our Mirage that doesn't have as many recolor potentials, or we could get Sunstreaker.
Sunstreaker I would love to have.
So
Now, see, Sunstreaker we actually could get repaints of, though, because there was a red dye clone.
right.
There wasn't there a police car version of that one, too?
Yeah, that was released in Japan with the classics mode. I remember the
So,
context.
yeah, the Sunstreaker one wouldn't be a problem on its own. Now, Mirage, yeah, that's limited as to what you can repaint that into.
I mean,
I can't even think of anything right offhand.
Other than them doing a clear electro disruptor like they did for Alternator's Mirage.
Yeah.
But you won't put that much clear plastic in a masterpiece toy.
Yeah, go buy a Ghost Starscream, yeah.
I have
Or
that.
you're the goat Soundwave.
I do want that Prime. I really want that Prime. It's just I don't know why, but I do.
It's overpriced. That's the problem.
I know. But it's G2 Prime. It's got pink missiles.
Wait for the clearance.
But I would want Trailbreaker because, of course, we're going to get Hoist. And I love Trailbreaker, and I like Hoist. I really want to see those.
The thing with that is just that Hoist is not like it's a pretty good retool of him. Like
Yeah.
And he did go Hollywood.
No, that was Moist.
Pair of sunglasses, right? And a signed contract.
Let's see, but we need more Decepticons, and unless they go to the Jets or start doing Masterpiece Decepticons,
Which we're pretty sure we're getting another Starscream.
yeah.
Well, Starscream and with Skywarp, I think are the next. I would think that if I was Hasbro, I'd release them just because they're not really that hard to do.
Well, yeah, and Hasbro has already released, Thundercracker with the modified mold, and Acid Storm, and Sunstorm. So I'm sure Starscream is next, and Skywarp will be the year after that.
The only thing I can think of is if they do Hot Link and what's the other one? Bitstorm? Those are the
Bitstream.
Bitstream, those are the two.
Yeah, not Slipstream, yeah.
Well, historically, I think the problem with the Decepticons is, historically speaking, they tend to not sell as well as the good guys. Well, bad guys.
Especially overseas, that's definitely a problem, which is probably why we just keep getting the Seeker mold over and over again.
You just get a slew of Seekers, and you get Soundwave because everybody loves Soundwave.
Now, we haven't seen any official remolds of that Seeker Jet yet into Coneheads. So that opens up 3 more uses of a mold that they don't really have to spend a whole lot of money on.
No, please do the Coneheads in a new size that match the robot size of the cars, the Masterpiece cars.
It's like every other Seeker. They're going to abuse that mold until it crumbles to dust.
Yeah.
Now,
but that mold also seems like it's already crumbling to dust.
Well, I don't know because I haven't bought any of the Masterpiece Seekers because that's just I love my Seekers, but that's a bit pricey.
Now, here is I have in my hand the one Seeker mold that is the most outside chance of getting a Masterpiece release.
How did I know you were going to pull that up?
We need this. We need G2 Thundercracker as a Masterpiece.
Action Master Thundercracker.
Action Master Thundercracker. Thank you. We need this as a Masterpiece release.
Sure. It'll be the Don Massey special edition.
Yeah, all proceeds go to Don's continuing hospitalization bills. Heck, if they're doing Autobot card, if they keep doing Autobots, that's cool. But we gotta have some Decepticons to balance it out,
They really need to redo that Seeker mold. Sure. I want the Seekers, similarly sized as the cars.
Masterpiece Big Daddy?
Oh, is that Big Daddy?
Yeah.
I have that one. I didn't realize that was Big Daddy.
Yeah. You know, just. Oh, if they want to do Decepticons, they want to keep the car motif, they could do Battle Chargers.
Well, my thing is they do cars. They could do the Stunticon. That's the Decepticon team that I really would like them to do.
They're not gonna do them until after they would do a Masterpiece Devastator.
Here's my thing.
Which I think Generations is as close as you're getting because they're already Voyager sized.
Yeah. The hope of that went down the drain with that.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with that because Hasbro's shown, or Takara has shown that they can do both. So
I don't think by releasing Devastator as that figure that they will rule out, because Masterpiece, they have to be looking at going, this is something that's very successful. I mean, like, they sell out of most of them. I know, like, back when they first tried to do it, they didn't sell as well, but man, I don't know is it the explosion of third party, or what is it that?
Well, the repaint potentials for Constructicons are pretty limited. I mean, you can do Devastator in different colors, I guess. But I mean,
orange and yellow. I mean, there's three different colors that can come out.
Yeah, there's plenty of Devastator color variations that you could.
Man, you know how expensive that would be.
Oh, I don't even want to think about that.
I'm just thinking, would they release them? Like, would they release that when the set was done, or would they do like, hey, we did this one, now we're gonna do the next one, and like they're gonna put them all?
Oh, you get 3 scrappers in a row.
Not that.
They would probably have one for Wonderfest, and
12 years later, you'd have your Devastator.
That's what I say. Like, how long would it take them to make one? Because how many? 2 Masterpiece figures a year with unique molds? I mean, you're talking at least 3 to 5 years.
Let's just fans project it up in here, and we'll do them as convention exclusives, and we'll release one at each convention.
Well, I still think this was my theory, and I still think it holds water to a degree. I still think with them succeeding with Bumblebee as a solid figure, both from a design and a product standpoint, with it holding together as well as it does.
I hope we get a push.
I still think this would be a successful trial run.
Too small.
But again, that's what I'm saying. I still think this could be a size for combiner limbs.
No, too small.
But you've got the size problem.
They need to be the size of the regular cars, of the Porsches and the.
The problem with that is though, with the new Masterpieces though, they're going off the robot scale from the animation models. They're trying to hold together, and I mean the Constructicons would all be the size of Optimus Prime.
That'd be one big effing.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, but
they were that big in the cartoon.
Onto the house.
They would be bigger than Titan. Would they be bigger than Metroplex then at that point?
They basically would be a Titan Devastator, but with leader class figures, like they had talked about in that interview Ben was talking about.
How crazy would that have been if they actually went through with that rather than just think about it?
Well, it's good that they thought about it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It would have probably been 2 feet tall, over 2 feet tall.
Devastator taller than Metroplex.
I would love to see a Masterpiece Devastator. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. Prove me wrong, Takara, please.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Please.
We love saying, oh, that you can't do this, and then prove us wrong.
I kind of wish that for Masterpiece, if they're going to do Decepticons, and I know this is probably crazy, but I wish they'd do triple changers. I mean, we already see the third party trying to do, they're already starting to do them now.
Well, it's sort of weird you mentioned that, Lauren. I was just finishing up P.L.'s review on DX9.
Yeah, I watched it, yeah.
Don, you're supposed to wait for my review.
Do you have a Shiguru in your hands right now?
I will.
Chugga.
It's Chugga Chugga Choo Choo, I think.
It's Purple Choo Choo.
It's Go-Go Tokyo.
He will wait for Diecast because then he'll find a place to put that panel.
Yeah, that I was really tempted by that figure. I just don't know right now. I think I'd rather get I need to get Mandalore first because a good 6-shot is so desperately needed. It really
It has never happened before.
I mean, it's not shot quick
switch.
Quick switch, yeah.
But you know what? Quick switch. I mean, to me, doesn't mean too much. I hear quick switch, and I'm like, eh. But I hear, Astro Train, and I'm like, oh yeah, Astro Train, yeah.
Well, it's all, it's just.
He's iconic. That's one.
Yeah. And again, we might give the Mad Law colors, the Mad Law remold done a Sick Night. I can't see them not doing it as a Sick Night.
So, who do you think? You think Astro Train is more of an iconic than Blitzwing, right?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I would say Astro Train and then Blitzwing.
Because he was a lot more episodes, and he was more like the. I guess he was more like their ride.
Yeah, he was their transportation in a lot.
Mass transportation.
Yeah.
But Blitzwing is more awesome.
Yeah.
Like Skyfire was to the first season.
Except he showed up more than 4 times.
Yeah. Well, thinking about the triple changers, it would not surprise me if the car would do a complete in-run around everybody's thoughts and do Octane first. Because Octane is a good boy as far as the modes. I mean, it is kind of plain. I mean, he's a tanker truck.
Was that a ponton?
He is kind of plain. That was unintentional. That wasn't.
Was that a happy accident?
But,
So you're saying Octane will get the line going?
I'm saying we've gotten several Astro Trains in various shades. We've gotten several Blitzwings to various shades. We have not had an Octane since the Classics Tank Corps, who everyone else seems to thoroughly loathe. So it just seems to me, if you're going to do a Decepticon Triple Changer, why not do the one that has not had any iterations in a very long time?
Because it'll
Because
kill
he's
the line.
probably the one no one will buy.
Yeah.
Nobody cares
What?
about Octane.
Why do you guys say that? Octane's awesome.
They'll be like, oh look, we made a triple changer and no one wanted to buy it, so we're not doing any more triple changers. No, they're gonna do Astro Train first. That's guaranteed. The first one they'll do is Astro Train.
They need to do the triple changers in the Generation line before they start doing Masterpiece ones. That way they can dabble with it. Because they already did that with Blitzwing. And unfortunately, I mean, he's okay. He's not...
Springer was awesome, though.
Springer was good. I think Sandstorm was actually a pretty good repaint of Springer.
Mm-hmm.
I actually wish he would have been an actual helicopter, because that's kind of what he was in his G1
Cloud Rodimus is an awesome recolor of Springer, just throwing that out there. Everyone go buy Cloud Rodimus.
Say.
They actually had... Well, no, they had the what is it? The Transformer Collector Club had the Cloud Starscream like on clearance. It's gone now, but it was on clearance I think for like $56. I don't know. I think
in case you wanted to waste $56 on it.
Well, didn't Brian buy that one? He bought the Cloud Starscream, right?
No, he bought Rodimus.
Yeah,
Because he's correct.
Yeah, I told him that Cloud Starscream had gone down, but he wasn't interested in it, and I wasn't interested either.
No, I don't think anybody.
If that had come down like under $40, I might have thought about picking that up. Just because I thought it looked kind of neat, but not $80 neat, not $60 neat.
Really, of all the Cloud stuff, really Rodimus and to a weird out of Roadbuster.
Well, I do kind of like the Roadbuster in those colors.
Did the Takara version of that mold have the same problems with the shoulders as the Hasbro version did?
Well, from what I've been told, it's actually not a cost issue. It's the way the plastic has to flex around the hinges. It's the design issue just to get it to work right. It's not a tolerance issue.
Yeah, it's a materials issue.
Yeah.
So.
Because of the safety issues, like with kids' toys having to be like collapsible or breakable.
I say this all the time. I never had that issue because mine never came out of the box. So mine's.
I have the Blitzwing and I have the Double Dealer, and they're both standing on a shelf just fine.
I had to buy some third-party add-ons to fix that.
I mean, mine are just little, statues of the characters anyway. They just stand there. So I don't touch them. I don't move the arms that much. So it really doesn't affect me any.
Right. As long as you're not tinkering around with them, they're fine just standing there.
Yeah, they look good.
I'm thinking if they did Masterpiece Broadside, he'd be the size of the flag
That would be awesome.